Hello there, I'm lujoBoy and welcome to another tutorial video. This time I'll be doing a tutorial on this cool looking steampunk house. And well, first things first, I gotta say that this steampunk house was built in 1.15 and well, I just forgot to do a tutorial on it earlier, so I'm going to fix that by doing tutorial now. And well, because this was built in 1.15, not 16, there are some blocks I didn't use from 1.16, and well, at the end of this video I will be going over those blocks and how you can use them to maybe create something a little bit different. But for now, let's go and start this tutorial. So here we are, I've turned off the shaders, and here in front of me I have the block palette we are going to be using for this build, and you can immediately see how each of those blocks is working together. Behind this block palette we have two texturizing blocks that we are going to be using. The polished granite will be used more for tiled texturizing, while stripped oak log will be used for the real texturizing of the walls. And in this chest I've prepared the approximate amount of items you will be needing for this build. So if you are building this in a survival, I would suggest that you get almost the exact number of blocks as you can see in this chest and prepare them for building. So with that, we are going to take some polished andesite and some blast furnaces. And well, I have furnaces here as I can see, and if you think that blast furnaces are a little bit too expensive for you, you can go for furnaces instead. So here I've prepared a layout for this build, and well, you can immediately see that this will be a 7 by 9 square in the middle, and we are going to have a 5 by 3 square on the side. Actually it's 5 by 5 as I can see right now. This was a mistake by me. And well, this is the beginning layout of our build, and this is how much area you will be needing for this build in general, not including the things that pop out a little bit or are going on the side and the roof, let's say. So with that, we can go on and immediately start building the little columns over here that will be, let's say, some kind of a metallic support for the base of our build. So if we start with a polished, actually not polished, with a blast furnace, then a polished andesite top, then blast furnace, polished andesite, and a blast furnace on top. And this gives us some kind of a metallic feel, so that we have some kind of a metallic edge for the base of our build. And well, you can just do the same exact thing on the 3 corners that we have left. Okay, also when placing the blast furnaces, make sure that the part that has this texture on with a little vent for smelting, that it's turned towards the walls in some way so that it's not seen from the outside or from the inside. So right after that we can start filling in the walls of our base for the build. And well, we are going to start by creating a little bit of a frame over here for our door. So we are using some stripped spruce logs like so, and then we are going to create a little doorway like so using some spruce stairs and spruce planks, and then you can go in and place your door inside. So you have a door for where you can of course enter. Now for the walls we are going to be using some polished granite and bricks, and well, we are going to do that by placing some polished granite on the blast furnaces and then just filling in the rest of the area. After that, on this side where we don't have this little pop out there, we are going to create a little frame over here, because we going to be needing this frame for the gear that will be popping out over here. And well, because we are going to be building a gear over here, I suggest you don't fill in this area just yet, but when it comes time to fill this in, you are going to place some polished granite like so, polished granite on blast furnaces, and then just fill it in with some bricks. Now before we go on building this gear, we can fill in the rest of the walls. So here we are just going to have our general theme with some polished granites like so, and bricks in between. After that, on this side we are going to have some polished granite like so and like so, and then just bricks in between them. We are not going to be filling in this area because this is a little entrance for this little section of our build, and well, we can immediately go on and start building it. So over here we are going to create a, let's say, small house, if you will, that's basically just attached to the base of this steampunk house. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 column that we are going to be connecting like this, and then later we are going to have columns that go all the way up to the top like so. So that's 5 blocks, and later we are just going to connect them in between like so, and then you can put a pop out here and a little pop out right there. After that you can just go in and fill this in with some oak planks, and after that you can take some stripped oak wood or logs and do a little bit of texturizing here and there. So, you know, just place them as you wish and as you see fit. So since we are on this base level, we can immediately go on and start building this little gear over here. So for this gear we are going to be needing a 3 wide hole that will be 2 blocks deep like so. Also you should punch out those little blocks, and you can create the same hole inside this little base or inside this steampunk house, and then you can take some stone and fill it in like so. And after that you can place some stairs on the edges to give it a little bit more, let's say, 3-dimensional feel like so. And then on these edges where we have our columns, you can just extend them by 1 block. So now we are going to be building this little gear that we are going to be having over here. And well, for this I think that I will be having a picture of that gear in the corner. And well, we are going to be starting by placing a log right over here. You can use any type of log. I'm using dark oak log. And after that we are just going to be placing some grindstones around this dark oak log. Okay, after that we are going to be using a lot of polished andesite and polished andesite stairs. So we are going to go over the grindstones with some polished andesite blocks like so, and after that we are using some polished andesite stairs like so to create this little, what is it called? It's a tooth wheel. I totally didn't look that up. And well, we create a little tooth wheel for our gear, and you basically just do the same exact thing on the 4 sides that are empty. So you just go with a stair, then a stair like this that's standing on this block, and after that a stair right here, and you create a nice tooth for this gear. Just do the exact same thing on the other sides. So you've done your gear now, and well, you can just go on and fill this in with some bricks. So now we have completed this little base of our build, and we can go on and start building the second level of our steampunk survival house. So now we can start by building the second floor or the first floor, whatever do you want to call it. And well, for that we are going to be using some stripped spruce logs, some stripped oak wood or oak logs, and some oak planks, and the blocks after the empty space in my hotbar will be used to build this roof. So for now we're gonna start by building the second floor. So go over here and create a 5 tall column like so. Same thing on this side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you can just do the same thing here and here, of course. And I made this 1 block taller, which is not needed. And after that you can connect them in between. So we're gonna connect them on the lower level and on the upper level as well. And you just do the same thing on the entirety of this second level. For that we have created a base, or a frame actually, for the second floor of this house. Now you can add a little column over here to separate those little sections, and after that you can just fill in this area with some planks and later just texturate it with some stripped oak wood. So once you've filled in everything, you can do a little pop-out over here and a little pop-out over here, and the same thing on the other side, like so. And well, as you can see, I'm not incorporating any windows yet because we are just focusing on the building and the shape, and we are going to be doing some details at the end. Now we're gonna go and start building the roof for this little section, and we're going to have some stairs like so. And in this case we are going to have an A-frame, as I can see that I forgot to take some spruce planks. So if I take them, and this A-frame will be like this, and then it's going to be a little steeper on the edge like so, and just copy the same exact pattern on the other side. And if I can place it correctly, okay, like so. And after that you can just fill in this area with some dark oak planks and some dark oak stairs. Okay, so this area is deliberately empty. We are going to placing some planks, and on here we're going to have a trapdoor, a slab, a trapdoor, a slab, and a trapdoor. And after that we are going to go on this side, and we're going to create a little, let's say, separator. So placing a stair here, a block here, and a block here. Actually that's not a block, that's a slab right there. And then we are going to have a little stripped spruce log going right up there, and behind it we are going to have a little wall of oak planks. And then, because well, you can see that we have 2 blocks, we can detail it a little bit better. So we can do a little pop out like this, and this looks much better already. Also, if you wish to, you can add a little extension like this, and then just go on and detail this lower part with some slab, and slab, and then trapdoor, and a trapdoor. You can do that in any order you like. And don't forget to do it on the other side. So now we can start building the roof for our house, and well, we are going to be starting by creating a little bit of a frame for, let's say, the front face walls of the roof. So here we are going to have a 6 blocks tall column like so. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After that you can place a block over here and a log over here. And on this side we are going to have a little bit of an entrance over here, because as you can see we are going to be having a little bit of a crane that's lifting up some stuff. So here we are going to have a 1, 2, 3 blocks tall, 1, 2, 3, and in this area we are going to punch this block out, and then we are just going to connect it like so, and we created a little archway. And the reason why we punched this block out is because, well, our roof is going to be going over here, and well, this block is just in the way. You can finish off this with a log right there and a log right there just to extend it up, and after that you can connect it like so, and then you can also connect it from this side as well, like this, and then like this. And after that you can extend this by 4 blocks out on the top part like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And well, we have created the frame for our roof, let's say. After that we are going to create a front face frame for the roof. So we are going to be using some spruce stairs like this, and then we are going to be placing it in an A-shape pattern. So we can have a stair, a block, a stair like this, then a block, a stair, then a stair, and in this case we have a little bit of a steeper edge on the top like so, and then you can just top it off with a stair like this facing in our roof, and then just continue the same pattern on the other side of this roof. And well, then you can just go on this side, on behind, and create the same thing. And then once you're finished, just connect them with some spruce stairs. And we can just go on and fill in the area with some dark oak planks and stairs. Same thing on the other side, of course, don't forget to do that. Okay, and with that we've basically created the roof. We can add a little details over here, which I forgot to take, which will be consisting on spruce slabs and spruce trapdoors. So if you know already the pattern, so it's going trapdoor, slab, trapdoor, slab, trapdoor, slab, and so on. Okay, after that we can go on and decorate this area over here. So first things first, we are going to have a little decoration over here, because we have this little hanging bit of the roof that's 2 blocks out, and well, we can use it very easily to decorate and create a really interesting, let's say, pattern and shape for our roof, like so. So we have the outer edge that's 1 block out and the one that's 1 block in, like so, as you can see, and it creates a nice shape for the roof or the front face of the roof. After that you can just fill in this area with some oak planks, and then you can just texturize it using some stripped oak wood or oak logs. Now on this back side we are going to be doing basically the same thing, just we don't have any oak walls in this place. So here we are. I hope you managed to follow that up. Here is the final look of that, and then after that you can go on this side and do a little bit of a pop out on the back side, or on the bottom side of the roof, like this, to give it a little bit more edge and a little bit more detail, of course. So the basic shape of our house is finished, and we can start detailing it around. So we're gonna start with the easiest details, which are placing our buttons on our polished andesite. And on this side of polished andesite we don't place any buttons, because, well, as you can see there, we're going to be having a really big cog or a really big gear on this back side of our build. Okay, after that we are going to be continuing with buttons, and we are going to be placing oak buttons, or in this case you can use any type of the lighter buttons, and placing them on the front face of the logs, like so. So everywhere you have this upper face, or let's say front face of the log, place your oak button. Now, one little thing that you should maybe add is a stripped spruce log here with an oak button, like so. Okay, so after that, on my hotbar, next is dark oak trapdoors that we are going to be using to decorate the roof a little bit and add it a little bit more texture and interest in it, so that it's not a plain boring one texture. So if you manage to follow along, that's a trapdoor heavily block, and they are going to having a block space in between. Also make sure you do the exact same thing on this little roof that we have. I think that you can do it like this, where we have a little bit more trapdoors, or like this, where we only have 2. I really like this, where we have 3 trapdoors. It gives it a little bit of a nicer feel, I would say. Okay, after that we are going to be using the spruce trapdoors, the trapdoors that we use the most. So we are going to create a little separator over here, so that we have some kind of a separation from this floor and from the base of our build. Same thing on this side, and on all of the edges that have a column like this, you just place some trapdoors like this and like this. Okay, after that we can go on this roof, place some trapdoors here and over here, and that will be it. After that we can place a trapdoor here and a trapdoor here, also a trapdoor over here and a trapdoor over here, like so. After that we can go on and place some trapdoors over here as well if you wish to. You don't need to place them if you don't think they will fit. And well, I'm not sure if I did place them on the original. Let's check. Yeah, I've only placed them on the original on the inside, so you don't need those outside trapdoors if you don't wish to have them. And then on this little pop out we can create this little, let's say, ring around this log that's popping out by 1 block, by 2 blocks actually, and you can do the exact same ring on the back side of our house, and then you can have the same trapdoors on this side. After that, here we are going to be decorating this little entrance with some trapdoors like so, and a trapdoor right here, and then you can add some spruce stairs like this and like this, and then you create a nice looking archway. And well, in this case we are going to be wanting not to fall like I did, and want to have something like this to have a little bit of a, let's say, a little bit of a balcony, some kind of a balcony that will help us access the goods that our crane is lifting up. I am stupid apparently, and I don't know that that trapdoor can be put back up. Okay, and with that we've basically done everything with trapdoors. After that, on my hotbar is something that I think I should have done at the beginning, which is using stone bricks over here and over here on the entrance to make the entrance pop out a little bit. And well, after that we have some grindstones and lanterns that we can use right over here to create a little bit of a light like so. And well, continuing on this hanging lanterns and hanging light theme, let's say we are going to be grabbing some cobblestone walls and spruce fences together with some chains, and we are going to be creating some hanging lanterns. So we have a grindstone, cobblestone wall, spruce fence, chain, lantern, and we have a hanging lantern. And on this smaller side we are just going to having a grindstone with a spruce fence, a chain and a lantern, and you've created your little hanging light. So after that I think that we are going to go and start building the little windows for this house. So for this one we are going to have a window that is going to be using some oak trapdoors like this, because well, I felt that this bottom area or the base area needs to use trapdoors instead of glass. So we are going to go and build two, let's say, windows right here. So we have a stair here and a stair here, and then we are going to be using of course some glass panes with some spruce trapdoors for the shutters. On this one we are not going to be using any stairs on the top. We are just going to punch out this hole and do some glass panes. And well, I just noticed I have a trapdoor right here, so I must have done something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm using this style of the window on this side, so I think that in this area you can actually use something like this. So if you want to create a window like this, like I did, you will need to punch out this one that we created and place it like this. If you like it, you can keep it like so, and just punch out this trapdoor that we placed here on, or if you feel like it, you can just leave it like this. I don't like it like that, so I'm going to go for this look. Okay, so that was a little mistake. I hope it's not something too big, and well, yeah, if you like it like that, you can keep it. If you don't like it, you can fix it immediately. Okay, after that, we are going to have one more window over here that's going to be using some glass panes, like so, and a trapdoor for a shutter. You can do the shutter or any side you want. I'm going to do it on this side actually, and I'm going to go over there and fix this little mistake that I created. So it's going to be going like this. Okay, this looks much better and much more loyal to the original. And well, we are going to keep on with the trapdoor because we are going to have a little bit of a, let's say, garden. Is this a garden? This is like a hanging garden in front of your windows, I think. And I only have it on this side, and well, you can place some grass over here, or you can use some dirt or coarse dirt, and then you can just fill it in with any type of, let's say, flowers, berries or foliage you want to. Okay, after that I think that I'm going to go and do a little bit more detailing. So we are going to having a barrel here and a barrel here, again to serve as a little bit of a separator. As well, we are going to having a barrel right there. You can place a barrel here and a barrel right here. Now on this side we are going to having a barrel on each of those sides that don't have trapdoors. So barrel right here, and if I can place it correctly, please, yeah, thank you, like that, and a barrel right there. Okay, so this is finished. After that we are going to be using some spruce fence gate to create this little, let's say, hanging area that creates a little bit of an illusion that this has some kind of support. You can do the same thing right here, and well, you can go all around where you have those little pop-outs, ignoring this big one, and put some spruce fence gates, open spruce fence gates in this case. Okay, now we're gonna keep on the topic of the spruce fence gates and fences, and we are going to create this little separator that is going to be separating the roof part from this floor part. And well, we are going to be doing it by placing a fence gate, a fence gate, and a fence gate and a fence. And then you can just do the same thing on the back side and it will give you the same effect. Okay, so now with everything finished almost, we can go on and create those little bit more complicated details. So we need to create a little pipe over here. We need to do a crane over here that's lifting up some goods, and we need to add 2 gears on this side. And also I just got reminded that I need to place a little bit of a chimney over here, as you can see right there. So we're gonna start by building the easiest thing, which will be this little pipe. So we are going to be using some stripped acacia wood for this, together with some acacia trapdoors. So if we create something like this, as you can see, we have a 2 blocks gap in between, we create a nice pipe, and then we can just use some trapdoors to give it a little bit more detail, let's say, like this, every single block, so 1 block space in between trapdoors, and you create a nice effect for the pipes of the steampunk, let's say, for the steampunkish pipes. And well, since this is going out of the ground, I think that we want to create something in the ground so that it looks like it's actually going outside of the ground. So as you can see, we are going to be using some polished andesite, and then we are going to be using some polished andesite stairs like this. And then we create a little bit of a 3D, let's say, feel, together with finishing it off with some stripped acacia. And by that, you've created a nice looking and easy built pipe that looks really interesting on the side. If you want to, you can add some more on the sides. I've also just remembered that I had one over here. While this is something that you should think about as you build inside of your house or decorate it inside with some details that we will be going over at the end of this, but you can go on and do it if you wish to. So now with this pipe done, we are going to go on and build this little crane. So for this crane we are going to have a grindstone followed up by a cobblestone wall, then a spruce fence, after that a chain, and a chain. Right after that we are gonna have a fence, and well, you can make this as, let's say, low as you want to, so you can make it all the way to the bottom, you can make it right in the middle or right in the top, however you feel like it. So after this fence we are going to have a log right there, and then you can just place some spruce slabs like so. After that we are going to be using some spruce signs to place them right on the edge over here to create this little, let's say, bottom edge feel, so that this feels like some kind of a, let's say, support that's carrying a lot of stuff, and it gives it a little bit more detail, I would say. And right after that you can use some trapdoors and place them on the edge. I mean specifically spruce trapdoors. And right after that, in the middle space that we have left open, you can place some acacia trapdoors. If you don't like acacia, you can use some oak or maybe some jungle wood or any other type of the trapdoor. And well, with that you created your crane. You can just fill it in with some goods, maybe some barrels, some hay bales, some chests and everything else. With that we can go on and build the chimney, which is pretty easy to do. So here we're gonna have a trapdoor because well, we're gonna punch this out. So you want to make sure that this is just on the edge, because if you're gonna be decorating this, you want to place your chimney right where your furnaces are going to be, so that it looks really unified and, let's say, somewhat semi-realistic. So for the chimney we are going to be needing some stone stairs and some polished andesite, together with some spruce signs and spruce trapdoors. Of course we are going to be needing some campfires and andesite walls to create this. So for this there is no general rule you should follow. You can just go how you feel like doing it. So in general I would suggest that you have two like this, so two chimneys stacking up like this, and then just you can make them of the variant, I would say, heights like so, and then you can just punch in a little bit more polished andesite here and there to give it that metallic feel, I would say. And later, you know, just do a normal chimney that you would do in the builds, which is a campfire with some trapdoors around it, and then you can top it off with some andesite walls like this and like this. After that, if you wish to, you can place some trapdoors around like this, maybe over here, wherever you feel like it, and give it this like support feel, like it's being, you know, some kind of a support beams are on this chimney. And then maybe you can place a little bit more, I would say, buttons, especially on this andesite part. And then you can also play with some signs if you wish to, maybe placing them around the top part of the chimney, and this will give you just enough detail for your chimney to look really interesting. As you can see, I've made this that this is the higher one, while in this case I've made that this is the higher one. And well, as you can see, this is a little bit smaller while this is a little bit bigger. So for this I would suggest you go with whatever style or with whatever variant of height you feel like would fit this the best. Now we are going to do the hardest part of detailing we have, which is creating two gears on the back side. Now for this I can notice that I've maybe made this a little bit too difficult, or more difficult for myself, because I've built this crane before I finished this gears. So if you're not building this with me and you're watching before building, I would suggest building the crane after you're finished with these gears. So for these gears, again, we are going to have a little bit of an indent like we had over here. So for this is going to be 3 blocks wide again and 2 blocks deep. And then on this side we are going to have it right up to this polished granite, and then just make it again 2 blocks deep. And well, of course you can then go on and place your stone or any other block you think that will fit in with this. And on this side we are going to have this line of stone. And for this I suggest that you replace every single block that you think will be visible with some stone, because well, this is going to be a pretty big gear, so there's a big possibility that some of the dirt or other materials will be seen, and well, if you want to stay clean you don't want them to be seen. Right after that we can just place some stairs like so, to give it a little bit more, let's say, indent feel, like it's some kind of a hole that the gear goes in. And then we can mark out where our gears were gonna be. So the first gear and the biggest gear is going to be right over here on this polished granite, and the smaller one is going to be right next to this barrel right here. And you can mark them with any type of log you want, but of course I'm using some dark oak log. After that you can immediately place a button on them, And well, we are going to start by building this smaller one first because it's a little bit easier. So we are doing our standard grindstones on every single side of our log. After that, we are going to be doing some polished andesite on top of the grindstones. And well, I think that you already noticed, we're going to need to punch out some things. So we need to punch out this trapdoor and this fence gate. Okay, now this gear is going to be shaped a little bit differently. And it's going to be textured a little bit differently because we're going to be using some stone stairs in this design. That's so that you can differentiate from those two gears because, well, in this space they are going to be connecting with each other. So for this, we are going to be having a polished andesite like this and just doing that on all four sides to create this, let's say, circle or semicircle like so. And after that, we're going to be using some stone stairs to create these little tooths of our gear like so, and just do the same thing over here and on the other two sides. And with that, well, our gear is finished. If I didn't mention it, I think that you noticed I have the picture of that gear that I'm building right now in one of the corners of this video. Okay, so with that, we can go on this little bit more complicated and a little bit bigger gear. So for this, we are going to have again grindstones, but this time we're going to have two grindstones, and we are going to make sure that they are connected with each other like this, so that the bottom or the top of the grindstone, however you want it, places or faces right in this log. So just do it on all four sides of this log. Okay, and once you've done it on all four sides, we can just go in and again place some polished andesite like this on the top part of our grindstones. And well, right now maybe this will feel a little bit complicated. So here we are gonna have a polished andesite like this, and it's going to be followed up by polished andesite stair right there and a polished andesite stair right here. After that, we have some stone stairs over here and over here. I think actually no, they are placing like this or facing like this actually. And then we have a polished andesite stair like so. And well, you can immediately see that it's really hard to see this, so I'm gonna complete or actually do that same thing on this side. So we have a stair right there. After that, we have a polished andesite right here. And then we have a stair in this direction. And after that, we are placing a stone stair right here. Actually, it's not like that, it's like this. It's okay to miss it out and fix it. As you can see, I'm also doing some mistakes. That's fine. We can continue with a stone stair in this direction, and then we have a polished andesite stair like this over here. And well, you just do the same exact thing all the way around. And well, with that, our house is basically finished. We have nothing else to do and nothing else to add. Only thing that you can do is decorate the interior of your house, which we can just look at what I did, and maybe I can give you a general idea of what you could do and what you could add to your house. So let's go over there and let's tour it a little bit. Okay, so here we are. I've turned off the shaders back because, well, to see it how it looks with shaders again. And well, I'm not sure if I missed anything, so I'm just going to go and look around it, so that if you think that I missed anything or didn't mention it, you can take a closer look and maybe fix it or add it a little bit. And I can see that I did the pipe right over here. Well, in this case it's right there, and well, that's something that, as I said, it's up to your design and how you are going to decorate the interior, which we are going to go and see right about now. So, one final look on the exterior, and well, as you can see, I've decorated around it, and well, you can do the decoration as however you want to. it doesn't matter. I've done some chorus dirt around with some paths and added some little fences. So for the interior, I've tried to make this, let's say, as survival friendly as possible, in the context that, well, you're going to be using this possibly for your survival house if you feel like it. So as you can see, I've done this in more of a, let's say, factory feel, because we have some pipes over here and right over there. That's a little detail that you can add in your steampunk builds using some acacia trapdoors and acacia it's not polished, it's stripped acacia wood to create nice pipes like so. And well, I have this, let's say, higher up area and this working area, and I've used some smithing tables over here for the flooring because, well, they look really nice and feel really nice for this area. Also, as you can see, I've made sure that my smelting area where I have my furnaces is right below my chimney so that it feels right. And well, I have some other decorations. You can use your storage for decorating, so some barrels, some chests, other chests as well. If you're questioning what this is the tool rack from Vanilla Twig's databook, so that you can place your tools on the tripwire hooks like so, and that will help you to create a little bit more detail. And well, this is something that you will need to play with usually and see what fits you the best. Now, one more advice that I would say is to try to maybe make a basement if you feel like it. So maybe punch a hole right there, place a trapdoor, have some ladders go down, or anything that you feel like you can create, and maybe have some redstone contraptions down there, and then you can connect this gear with the redstone contraptions and make them so that those gears are actually making those redstone work down there. And you can do the same thing for the bigger gear we have outside, so that maybe you can give a little bit more life to your house and maybe to your steampunk area and steampunk theme. Okay, so this is the first floor and it is basically the working area, and well, you can do some other decorating with some banners, grindstones, some levers, or any other redstone components, for example, that will work really fine and will fit really well in this design and this fill. So for this, I've also incorporated this spiral staircase. Now, this spiral staircase does take a lot of space, so if you feel like you can use this space a little bit better, you can also use some ladders instead of the staircase. But I really like this staircase as it leads us to the first or the second floor. I would say this is the first floor actually. And the first floor is basically the living area, as we have our bed over here. We have a smoker where we cook our food. As you see, I've incorporated this pipe over here, and you can do that in any way you want. You can have it streak across the ceiling, you can have it in the walls, or anything like that. And well, you can decorate this however you feel like it. You can play with it, maybe turn it around, do whatever you feel like. And the only thing that I would maybe recommend is making some holes with stairs like this, or maybe like this, to give a little bit more space to this area, because this can feel a little bit too crowded, yeah, a little bit too, let's say, scuffed, yeah, a little bit too scuffed. So that's one thing to do. And if you're placing some bookshelves like this, if you are making your ceiling out of spruce slabs like this and making this nice 3D feel to your roof, make sure that you fill in this area, so you know when you place your bookshelf you're gonna have a empty space over here. And well, I don't like it, so I place a plank on top of it and some stairs on the sides with some spruce trapdoors as well. Okay, after that we have our attic or the roof space, and well, this is also a little bit of, let's say, clustered and has a lot of things around, not too much space, but this is where you can have your bulk storage. So you can, I don't know, maybe place some barrels like this. If you can see, this is right space where our stair is, so you can just place a barrel right over here and you can have your storage right there. Same thing on this side, and maybe you can fill it with shulker boxes or with the raw materials that you placed the sign for, with some item frames and the item in the item frames. Of course, you can continue with the pipe edge, and you can create a little bit of a vent like this. So using an item frame with some iron bars to create some kind of a vent that looks really nice, and it is a nice little detail. And with this update, I think that you can make, you can make this item frame invisible if you're using vanilla Twig statues that has an option to make item frames invisible. So this can look even better maybe. I didn't try it, so that's something that you can test. And well, this is a nice area and I really like it. It's very simple, not too much space. It's, I would say, really easy to do. It can even be your starter house if you feel like collecting all materials and taking your time to build it. And well, now for all of 1.16 blocks that you could maybe use for this. So of course I didn't prepare them beforehand and I needed to do that right now. So for this you can maybe try to use some warped wood or some warped planks. So if you want to create, let's say, a copper roof or more a metallic roof, you can use some warped planks together with some stripped acacia wood, especially if you're using stripped warp stem, because when you place them together it looks like this is copper, let's say, and then this is more worn out copper, I would say. So you can texturize it and create a nice copper roof. Of course, having a copper roof is not really, I would say, functional, but you can really make it stand out and feel a little bit more steampunky with that. So one more thing that you can use is basalt. So you can use basalt to create some pipes. So this is, let's say, a variations of pipes that you can do. And well, instead of using acacia, you can use some basalt. Actually, it's polished basalt. Basalt or basalt? Basalt. I will keep continuing saying basalt, so it's basalt. And then, well, you can create a nice pipe with basalt. And well, also you can use basalt to create the frame if you wish to, or maybe to, I don't know, create this little area, or as well you can maybe create the roof with basalt, especially this texture right here, as it has a nice feel, as you can see. If I can place that correctly. No, I can't, because there is no block behind it, but you get what I mean. Now, next blocks that you can use is some polished blackstone. So polished blackstone you can use instead of the bricks right here, and this will give a little bit more darker feel to your steampunk house. So if I do it right here, you're going to see how this immediately turns to a little bit darker than what I built originally, and because of that you will need to use a little bit darker blocks on the walls and on the roof to contrast this color of the blackstone. Now, two more blocks that you maybe were thinking like, what the hell are you thinking? There is no way I can build with netherite or lodestone. Well, yeah, it isn't. You would most likely see this if you're building this in creative, or well, if you're a crazy person like me, that I'm going to do that. I'm going to use surely some black blocks of netherite to build my steampunk builds in my survival world. And well, you can use them to build more metallic, I would say, edge on your house. So as I said, this is like a metallic supporting, I would say. So to make it a little bit more metallic, you can use some netherite like this, and this already feels more metallic than the polished andesite, as you can see. So if you place it, yeah, it feels more metallic and it fits a lot better, I would say. Now for the lodestone, you can use it if you want to for decorating instead of the blast furnaces, but honestly I would say that I recommend using blast furnaces, as the texture and the color of the blast furnaces contrasts really nice with our block of netherite. So where else can you use the lodestone? Well, the lodestone you can use instead of this log. So you can have a lodestone because, well, the texture of the lodestone is actually really nice and can fit really well with your gear. So that's some way that you can make your gears a little bit interesting than having a log right there, and make them a little bit more expensive to build, I would say. And well, I think that's it. There is nothing else to talk about. I really hoped you enjoyed, and I hoped you managed to follow along. If I did butcher some words, or maybe I was a little bit too, I would say, like a robot. Yeah, I wasn't as interesting maybe. You can leave a comment down below if you think that. If you liked this video, of course leave a like, comment if you want to see me do something else, and well, I think that will be it, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a nice rest of your day.